Hey, this is Matt once again. What about the other videos? Another paid request, this time for Shawn. Thank you so much for that. And for those interested in requesting any type of videos, topics, reactions, commentaries, tier lists, reviews, re-reviews, what have you, feel free to send it either directly to my PayPal or join my Patreon. Both links are down below in the info box. And he wanted me to do a commentary on the Royal Rumble 1997 match. Which is on the WWE YouTube channel for those who want to follow along. To give a background, this is the Royal Rumble where Triple H was known as Hunter Hearst Helmsley, the gentleman who very much clean and proper, uppity character. He defeated Goldust and had the Intercontinental Championship. Ahmed Johnson was part of the WWE regime. It defeated Farouk. Ron Simmons, he's the guy later on that's known for saying "damn" as part of the tag team with JBL. Vader defeated The Undertaker, which is very surprising because it seemed like they weren't doing much with Vader around this time. There is a 6-man tag team, which I think is mostly people from the Lucha Libre, which was in partnership with WWF, which gets into the Royal Rumble. And Shawn Michaels defeated Psycho Sid. Yes, Sid. Who had back then had thrown Hulk Hogan over the top rope in Royal Rumble 92. Then Hulk Hogan with Ric Flair got him out, and then Hogan and Sid fought at the WrestleMania that year, later on. He would come back as Shawn Michaels' bodyguard, but then some things happened, and Shawn Michaels left him and Kevin Nash Diesel became friends again. And now Sid, at this point, was a champion, but then Shawn Michaels won. Let me put in perspective. This is Royal Rumble, January 97. SummerSlam 97 is the bit where Stone Cold Steve Austin was with Owen Hart, and Owen Hart would mess up the pile driver and fuck up Steve Austin's neck. So that's the same. This is Stone Cold Steve Austin. When we get to WrestleMania of this year, it's going to be Stone Cold versus Bret Hart in that pretty damn great classic match where Stone Cold is pushing his hands up and he's in the sharpshooter and the blood's coming down the face, which absolutely made Stone Cold Steve Austin. But he was getting some traction here as they were showcasing this Royal Rumble, which he won. He cheated, but he won. So let's get into it. I know I'm like 3 minutes in. 3, 2, 1, pressing play. Jim Ross, Vince McMahon, and Jerry Lawler on commentary. And we have Crush, who at this time was part of the Nation of Domination. Crush, of course, I remember him as the Hawaiian surfer, good guy. Actually, I know later on he would be the biker, he'd have the biker regime, Disciples of Apocalypse. He'd be like a biker faction he created. I'm not sure if he created it, but he was a big part of it. It was like a face turn. Very different from years before with Crush. The Hawaiian guy, and he would get the move where he would crush someone's head and lift them up. But Brian Teeth Adams, I think this is one of the last years. Had to be, I don't know. I don't think he lasted too much longer. I want to say it was 97, late 97 that he was gone. Some say it has a Survivor Series, the Montreal Screwjob, which that was this year too at the end. And there's Ahmed Johnson, which a lot of people liked him, and so did I. He had the right look, he had the body, he had the strength. He literally had to pull these really powerful moves. Wasn't best in terms of speed team, but he had just a badass. He just looked and seemed like a fucking total badass. And there's even a point he was the Intercontinental Champion, and it seemed like they were really going to propel him up the card, but what happened was he was in a fight with Farouk and Nation of Domination. See, he's even doing the Ultimate Warrior stuff with the ropes. I mean, that's the way. It was like he was taking cues from Ultimate Warrior. Now, people said he was very stiff and he would hurt people in the ring. Very clumsy and uncoordinated. That's what some would say, that he was very stiff. Others would say that he got hurt a lot. There's at one point, I believe it was like kidney problems he had. So his push was lessened because of that. He had issues with the kidney problems. And then apparently there was another later on where, this is a story I heard, his sister was dying. And he left to go see his sister, and he's like, hey, my sister is sick. I don't really want to go out there and assume like I'm getting, to let her see that her brother is getting beaten up and all this. I can understand that, you know, you wanting to, like her sister wasn't doing well and he left. I mean, if that's why he left, because he's like, fuck yeah, I want to look at my sister's dying, I can understand that and respect that. I really can. But I've heard that he got hurt a lot, he got injured a lot. And I think later on he said it was due to racism. Oh no. The fake Razor Ramon, that's right. God, the fake Razor Ramon. This is like one of the worst ideas at the time. People going, what the hell is this? Rick Botner. Jim Ross, they wanted to make a bad guy for some reason. See, right then, boom. Right then and there. And people cheered because they did not give a rat's ass about this guy. So, like, Jim Ross, they wanted to turn him a bad guy, and Jim Ross's character was like, you know what? That's all. Kevin Nash left. I could bring them back. And they brought in a fake Razor and a fake Diesel. And the fake Diesel was played by the guy who would later be Kane, Glenn Jacobs. So, I think you actually see him later here. What the hell is he doing? So Ahmed has to. I mean, they did this to make him look strong. They don't want him to win the Royal Rumble. That's Stone Cold Steve Austin. Someone doesn't throw him out, so he doesn't look weak. So he's like, you know what? He takes himself out because he's chasing Farouk, and that's going to lead into supposedly more of a longer program. But I didn't fully understand. Ahmed just got hurt a lot, the kidney problems, all that stuff. So now you have one of the Godwins, Phineas Godwin, which was at this point supposed to be a pig farmer with a bucket of slop, and this is just kind of the remnants of those characters in the past. Well, you see the times are changing. You know, you got Stone Cold Steve Austin, you got, you know, this biker-looking guy, Crush. You know, now this looking like a biker. It was, people were getting tired of those type of kid-friendly. You looked in the crowd as more older folks. I mean, there are kids in there, but it's about more teenage, older folks, and that's what one they want to see. They want to see, I don't want to say edgier, but more to their age element, not Skittles, Starburst, fruity flavored, candy coated costumes, or let alone, you know, pig farmers. It seemed like remnants of when you had the hockey guy, the goon, or Quain the ninja, or other shit. That wasn't really fly with as the audiences were fleeting. See, that's why ECW people are like, yeah, that's the thing to go to. Yeah, someone flashed the ECW said someone got away from the camera. But yeah, Phineas Godwin. Stone Cold Steve Austin, here we go. And people were cheering the guy. I mean, that one kid gave like a middle finger. But people were cheering. Austin 316 signs. He had won the King of the Ring. He did the Jace the Snake Roberts. Austin 316 I just whooped your ass. And this is before his neck injury. So he could do a lot more bumps. In WCW, he was stunning Steve Austin. He was in a tag team also with Brian Pillman. When they brought him to WWF, what was it, 96 or so? He was the Ringmaster, which was a terrible gimmick. $1 Million Man was his manager. Didn't let him talk. But then went away, shaved his head. He's Stone Cold Steve Austin. And he was a bad guy. He was a heel. But people liked him. People enjoyed him. I love that. I'm laughing. Whatever. I love this. There you go. Ooh, Stone Cold Stunner. Talk his spat, talk his shit to him. Love that. Get your ass out of here. People love that. People love that attitude. It felt refreshing to people that don't give a fuck, gonna kick your ass, talk trash to you. Bart Gunn. As they don't last much. One of the Smoking Guns tag team with Billy Gunn. Didn't quite hook that to the back of the head. The elbows here. Didn't quite hook that above his head. Get your ass out of here. There's a clothesline. And he has Stone Steve Austin's mannerism and his doing push-ups. People clapped. People wanted the anti-hero. They were getting tired of the apple pie, sweet, and people liked that. They wanted to see a kick-ass, badass guy. He just had that presence and look with his face, his mannerisms. Looked at the fucking... And in Bart Gunn, I mean, he was a guy that won the Brawl for All, and his reward was to have a fight with Butterbean and get his ass knocked the fuck out. So, Jason Snake Roberts, what he had beaten in the King of the Ring, he has more of his religious angle at this point. That's why Stone Cold is praying. He's more of this religious angle, repent. I mean, it didn't last too long, Jake the Snake coming back. I mean, you could tell he had gained a bit of weight. He said he was not with drugs, but he was. But he was still on the drugs, despite him saying he wasn't. You see Steve selling. He sells well. And Stone Cold's already got, he got one of, didn't he do one of the Godwins? And he got, Bart Gunn. Yeah, he did the Stone Cold on Godwin and threw him out. Then Bart Gunn clotheslined him out. And now he's with Jake the Snake Roberts. And I always liked Jake the Snake Roberts. It's just sad. You look at his history, his problems, drug problems. Loved the way he did the DDT with the snap to it. Excellent in promos. Up there he is. Now we got Davey Boy Smith, the British Bulldog. Which I don't think he will last too long here. I think after the Montreal screw job, he was fairly gone. Yeah, I think it was after the Montreal screw job when Bret Hart got screwed over. Owen Hart stayed. With Sally, if he had left, he'd probably still be alive. Owen Hart. That's the sad thing. If Owen Hart had left and went to WCW, he would still be alive. Dave Boy Smith, I mean, Sally, he got into drugs and stuff. He had problems with that. Of course, years before, he had fought against Bret Hart at, was it Wembley Stadium? I know it was in the UK. Of course, this is a time when Stone Cold was fighting the Hart Foundation. Bret Hart, Owen Hart, Davey Boy was part of that. America versus Canada. This is when you slowly... Bret Hart had come back, and he was always whining. This didn't get his way. This didn't get his way. Bret Hart, one of the people he wanted to work with was Steve Austin. And you get to WrestleMania, it's the full heel turning babyface, Stone Cold, and babyface turning heel, Bret Hart. And Bret Hart was more of a villain. Now this is one of the Lucha Libre guys. Because again, they had the Lucha Libre connection at this point. We're going to promote them. Not quite a smooth spine buster. But yeah, they pretty much did this to promote the Lucha Libre, which I don't know how long this I don't know how long this team up lasted between the two of them. I'm not familiar with that. Double axe handle. There you go. Right in the stomach. It's every man for himself. Simon ass all the way down. Now they're double teaming on him. Ah, the Sultan. This did not last long, this character. Supposedly he's a guy, there's the Iron Sheik as the manager. Did you the double clutch fuck your ass and make you humble? The Iron Sheik told us. The Sultan, I think he was a character, like he didn't talk, something about his tongue got cut out or something. That guy, who's the Sultan, would eventually be Rikishi. This right here is the future Rikishi. He gained a few more pounds, showed more of his ass to rub in people's faces, and it'd be Rikishi. It would be Rikishi, so there you go. But yeah, this damage just didn't work. I mean, again, the Sultan was kind of the past of these kooky, quirky, weird characters. Doink the Clown, these gimmicks that, hey, Undertaker worked, Razor Ramon even worked, but a lot of them were just failures, and people just thought they were corny, lack of personality, like lack of. Would you ever believe the Sultan would ever go anywhere as a big heel babyface? No. Look, someone's like giving this. What was that? A lady in the front row, like giving to the Iron Sheik, like this. But I love the world because it goes at fast pace. Every 90 seconds, someone comes out. This is Mil Mascaras. Yeah, this is Mil Mascaras, another of the Lucha Libre. For the Lucha Libre Association. Which I think Mil Mascaras actually became an actor. Like, he starred in, like, luchador action films. A little bit of, like, a Tito Santana kind of flying forearm, however you want to put it. I don't know. This might be the only time he's on WWF. These guys, I don't know, but definitely a more of a legendary, lucha libre wrestler. Whenever I think of lucha libre, I think of Nacho Libre. Look at the corner there, like the way they have Stone Cold, like over the ropes. One has like his legs in there. British Bulldog. Hunter Hearst Helmsley before he was Triple H. So you have the music that you hear in the Die Hard trailers. Ode to Joy, the prim and proper. He was the heel. God, it's funny when you look back. You see, Paul Levesque. Later on, he would marry the boss's daughter, and now he's pretty much one of the guys running WWE. And he goes from Hunter Hearst Helmsley, the Triple H, to the Dame, and DX to now where he's at today. Never, no one would have ever guessed it. No one would have ever guessed it. And Hunter Hearst Helmsley was originally supposed to win. There you go. Bulldog got the Sultan out. Don't worry. Give it a few years, you'll be Rikishi, and you'll become a lot more popular. Ooh, nice clothesline from Stone Cold. That's funny. There's Steve Austin and middle finger. And people were just, yeah. People were popping. He did the middle finger and does this. Like, people like the energy, the anti-authority. It felt refreshing. And it had that energy and presence to it. Of course, Owen Hart. The guy who slammed me award, Brady slammed me around. Owen Hart may rest in peace. But as Bret Hart was in the circuit with the champions, because Stone Cold was fighting the Hart Foundation, it was going to lead to him fighting Owen Hart for the Intercontinental Championship in SummerSlam, which sadly Owen Hart fucked up with the pile driver and completely screwed up Steve Austin's neck. There you go. Owen Hart took over Davey Boy Smith. Maybe put in the seeds of dissension between the organization. Owen Hart, you got me out, Owen. And there you go. Goldust. At the time, he was fighting Hunter Hearst Helmsley because I guess Helmsley had tried to get Goldust Lady Marlena. But of course, Dustin Rhodes, Goldust, one of the sons of Dusty Rhodes, the brother of Cody Rhodes. Earlier on, he was kind of more into the flamboyant, him being gay, trying to. There's the WrestleMania with him and Roddy Piper, all that stuff. Really going into that category. But Dustin Rhodes knew how to wrestle, and the character people do remember carried on for many, many years. You want to see something wild, go watch Ultimate Warrior's promo on Goldust and some of the stuff he says during that promo in the ring. That would never fly today. And just look up Ultimate Warrior Goldust promo or whatever. It just would never fly today. There's a Cybernetico. Another one of the Lucha Libre guys. I gotta say though, for the Lucha Libre guys to there's supposed to be a showcase for what they can do in the ring. They don't really show a lot, these Lucha Libre guys. They didn't really show a whole lot of what they could and couldn't do. It's like, I hate to say it, they kind of came off as jobbers in this. I don't know if it really helped. Because what big moves did they pull off? What big eliminations did they pull off to make you go, I gotta go see these guys? Not really anything. But I mean, compared to 1995 Royal Rumble, at least this guy, you got Steve Austin, you got Triple H, you got Owen Hart, you got Goldust, one of the sons of Dusty Rhodes. Later on, you got Bret Hart, you got Undertaker, you got Mick Foley, among others. So you go. Helmsley do a little bit of the. There you go, Steve Austin. Wildman Mark Merrow. See, this makes him look stupid too. So the guy eliminated 2 of the Lucha Libre guys. He eliminated from the top rope. He didn't realize that he wasn't supposed to do that, so it just makes him look like an idiot. It just makes him look like a moron. Makes him look like a dumbass. You're like, oh, this fucking idiot. This fucking dumbass guy. It just makes him look stupid. I don't understand the reason behind that. I guess it's like, well, we can't have them be thrown out. We can't have them be thrown out because they'll look weak. So I'll do it myself. I guess that's the thinking behind it. And there, Goldust got Hunter Hearst Helmsley. Whereas I think Triple H won the match earlier, so I guess it's now Goldust getting a bit of revenge. You won the match, but I'll do this. Now, Mark Merrow, he was in WCW as Johnny Be Good or something. A Little Richard impersonator, pretty much. So they got him, but he couldn't do the Little Richard thing because that was a WCW thing. So they got him to be that character, but he could not be that fucking character. So it's like, what the hell? You got Johnny B. Bad. I think maybe it was Johnny B. Bad. Maybe it was Johnny B. Bad. But it's like, Johnny B. Good, Johnny B. I think Johnny B. Bad. It was a Little Richard impersonator. So then they couldn't do anything with him. So like they got him. He's like, well, we'll think of something else. Yeah, Johnny B. Bad. As a nod to Chuck Berry's Johnny B. Good. Little Richard guy. Oh, well, just bring him in. Well, what are you going to do with him? Well, he'll be Mark Merrow. And there's oh yeah, he's a boxer. They'll give him a boxer gimmick. And then Sable was his wife. And people looked at Sable more than Mark Merrow. So Sable outshowed Mark Merrow. In fact, there's supposed to be a match between Steve Austin and Mark Merrow, but then Sable body slammed Mark Merrow, or powerbombed, I think powerbombed. And Steve Austin's like, well, who the hell am I going to fight now? Because Sable just powerbombed Mark Merrow. If she can do that, why is it going to be any difficulty for me to do anything? Owen Hart gets Goldust. There goes Goldust. Oh shit. Farouk. Ron Simmons. He was chased by Ahmed Johnson, but he was able to get back in. Yeah, the Nation of Domination was a fairly new thing at this point. The Latin Lover. There you go, Dubai. I didn't just the ooh, nice clothesline. Steve Austin, Ron Simmons. I would love to see more of this. Steve Austin, Ron Simmons. I would love to see more of that. This Ahmed Johnson with a 2x4. Look at the people popping for it. Look how big the people popped. They loved Ahmed Johnson. You just see he was like a big guy, badass guy. To pull off some big power moves. If he knew how to talk a bit better, if it wasn't the injuries and sadly with his sister, I think a lot of stuff could have happened. A lot of stuff could have done with Ahmed Johnson, so it's too bad. Did we? They didn't show Steve Austin getting Owen Hart out. What the hell? Salvio Vega. Ooh, shit. Now, Salvio Vega, I think, was Twain the Ninja before. Yeah, this is one of the early feuds Stone Cold Steve Austin had was with Savio Vega, but I guess this is sort of the end of that feud, in a way. Like Savio got some moves in and spinning heel kick there, but he's getting some moves in because, from what I remember, he's not going to last too long in this. Nope, go back. Around the throat, and get your ass out of there. So this is point what? Owen Hart, which we didn't get to see. Did he eliminate Mark Merrow as well, and we didn't see that? There's Mark Merrow. Okay, he does both of them. Thank you for the replay. So you got both of them there. I think he got like 10 eliminations. He got a lot. Oh, Double J, Jesse James. Later on, him and Billy Gunn would be the New Age Outlaws, but this is well before that. This is when he was with Jeff Jarrett, the roadie. The New Age Outlaws. We got 2 words for you. Nice clothesline there. Try and do a bit of that Jeff Jarrett stuff. Get your ass out of there. There you go. Like, people love this. People were loving this. People were loving, like, this guy's a badass. He's kicking ass. He's taking names. Kind of like when he had Red Flair by himself. And it's going to lead to Roddy Piper coming in. Oh, no. So who's the one guy who Steve Austin does not want to face? Well, he does, but he doesn't. And that look. Bret the Hitman Hart. Which again, this would lead to the WrestleMania 13 match between the two of them. Which Bret Hart won, but Stone Cold didn't give up. He just passed out from loss of blood. And these two were so great with each other. And Steve Austin always looked at himself as more of a heel, but like this whole thing with the anti-hero that people, and I love Bret the Hitman Hart. I love his match. I wish someone had like, I know there's compilations, but I mean like all of his matches throughout the years, like DVDR'd, like all the Raw matches. 1, 2, 3 Kid. What was the guy? The Hakushi. You know his. Did he win one of the Teen Reigns and all those matches? Like there's a DVD-R of that. If someone ever has that, let me know. I'd love to buy it from you. These two work so well with the punches. And they're good at selling and hitting the moves. Two of my favorites right here. Stone Cold Steve Austin and Bret the Hitman Hart. Jerry Lawler. Now, just not too long before, there was a rivalry between Bret Hart and Jerry Lawler. Kiss My Foot match or something, but Bret Hart's gonna get rid of him. Goodbye. Obviously a comedy spot for Jerry Lawler. I love the moves that Bret Hart did, like the going off the top rope with the elbow down and that sweeper. I forget the exact name of the move, but they both go back. Headbutt to the lower abdomen. Jim Ross does a great job on the commentary. Vince McMahon is, oh, what a maneuver! Yeah, I always thought he sucked in commentary. And Jerry Lawler, I was always annoyed by. So out of the commentary, I just like Jim Ross. I prefer when it was like Bobby Heenan. The fake Diesel. That is, for I understand, Glenn Jacobs, who would later be Kane. But again, this is when they wanted to turn Jim Ross heel for some reason. A bad guy. It's like, I got a crazy plan. I'm going to bring in my version of Razor Ramon and Diesel. And, people obviously could tell that's not them. So it's like, what's this fake phony bullshit? Get the hell out of here. Such a stupid decision that just failed. Outright fucking failed. There's no one wanted to see this stupid shit. And the fake Razor, they got out like 10 seconds, but this guy's in it for quite a while, which is crazy. I guess because, hey, he's a big guy. Maybe they like Glenn Jacobs, the guy himself. Because he was also Isaac Yankem, the evil dentist, before this. I think Kane was kind of one of the last chances. If it didn't work, he would get fired. But Bret Hart always took those bumps well when he goes to the chest. Boom! They hit the buckle. It's like, it just looks so damn painful. And now Stone Cold giving his kind of maneuver on that. I think this is Terry Funk. Legend Terry Funk. I said definitely a legend. Granted, he retired like 80 times. Almost as much as Ric Flair, but definitely an older wrestler that is one of the legends. What is that sign saying? Something for Terry. I don't know, it was a green sign. They were moving to the left. But I guess to let people know what would happen after this. After this, technically was In Your House 13, Final 4. Because of the ending of this, there's a bit of, well, who because Stone Cold gets thrown out, but the referees did not see it. Since the refs didn't see it, he stuck in, threw Bret Hart out, which Bret Hart was pissed. And because of that, well, it's like, okay, we don't have Steve Austin, Bret Hart, Vader, and Undertaker. That's like the worst pile driver I've seen in a long while. Holy shit. The Rock. Yes, that's Dwayne Johnson The Rock. He's a rookie. He just got in this time. Rocky Maivia. And look at this. Rock and Stone Cold. The first time ever they were probably ever in the ring together was here. I would assume. Yeah, Rocky Maivia was looked as the baby face. He's the good guy, clean cut, wholesome American. People didn't like entirely that. They were more into Stone Cold Steve Austin and the attitude. So they booed him. Die, Rocky, die. So soon after, he would be joining the Nation of Domination. Then take over and just be The Rock. But at this point, it's just crazy to see The Rock and Stone Cold face off at each other and literally two years later, WrestleMania 15. Just coming up as WrestleMania 13. Yeah, 2 years later, WrestleMania 15. Little over 2 years later, they'd be headlining WrestleMania together. How 2 years make a whole hell of a lot of difference. But yeah, Bret Hart, Steve Austin, Undertaker, Vader fought, and Bret Hart won that to be the... I think they were number one contender, right? I think Bret Hart won, but I think at one point Austin fucked over Bret Hart. So Undertaker, I think, fought and won the championship. And then... Yeah, because I think Bret Hart lost to Psycho Sid. And then... It was Psycho Sid Undertaker, I think, at WrestleMania. But there's Mankind, there's Mick Foley. It's weird, like, you see Mick Foley, The Rock... Mick Foley, Dwayne Johnson, Steve Austin. But the early iterations of them. Ooh, nice suplex. Nice suplex there. A lot of great talent in the ring. I mean, you got, again, Bret and Austin, Rock and Foley, Funk, and, well, later Kane, Glenn Jacobs. A nice counter by Austin. I agree, Jim Ross. Flash Funk. Later, Too Cold Scorpio. Well, he's talented. Just Flash Funk is like, again, baby blue clothes, damn it. People like, they didn't really take him seriously. Look at that power driver. Bret Hart knew how to do it. It's just crazy that later on, that type of maneuver would completely fuck up his career. But anyway, change it forever. I mean, maybe with it, made him more popular. Because people missed him. And he could do interviews and stun the boss. Would he have stunned Stone Cold Steve Austin if he didn't get hurt? I mean, was Stone Cold Steve Austin stun Vince McMahon unless he was hurt? He got hurt, it led to him stunning Vince McMahon. And Stone Cold Steve Austin stunning Vince McMahon elevated things even further. But yeah, Rocky Maivia, I think he had debuted, I want to say Survivor Series before this. Like they said, the rookie. There's Vader. Vader had been brought in, what, 96 or so? I can't remember. 95, 96. I cannot remember. But, you know, he was very popular in WCW among other territories, but they did not know how to use Vader. At one point, Vince McMahon wanted to call him the Mastodon. When he worked with Shawn Michaels said, if you hit me too much, if you hit me too rough, if you do all this, then you don't get fired. During the infamous, was it SummerSlam or stuff? Vader forgot to move. He's like, move, you motherfucker, move. And everyone could hear it. But people like, you know, Stone Cold sold for him. He was a big monster heel, people, you know. But, I don't know, they just did not know how to use Vader. I think they. I don't think he lasted too much longer. And sadly, Leon is his name. He sadly passed away in 2018. Rest in peace, Leon. Yeah, I think 97 was his last year. Maybe 90. Maybe it was 98. I can't remember. Maybe it was 98. Yeah, I think it was 98. Yeah. The Vader faced off against Michael Shawn SummerSlam. Shawn Michaels won. Then the feud with Undertaker. Paul Bearer turned on Undertaker. Then he was in this Royal Rumble. Vader and Mankind, I think, were a tag team. I think that was WrestleMania 13. They were a tag team. Like I said, I think 98. Definitely a packed fucking ring. But Henry O'Godwin. I think we got one more. I think we got one more guy, but there's a lot of people there. Look at that. Flash Fun versus Rocky Dwayne Johnson. Bret Hart versus Fake Diesel. Vader versus Terry Funk. And Mankind versus one of the Godwins. But Bret Hart and Stone Cold always turn to the two of them. The Undertaker. Shit, at this point, I can't see shit. I can't see anything. And he gets his own entrance, you know, the lights going off, all that stuff. Yeah, Undertaker just been turned on, like Paul Bearer turned on him, so. And Paul Bearer, I think, hit Undertaker with an urn to help Undertaker lose, so now Undertaker's pissed. Don't fight everybody. There you go, Taker versus Austin. You know, choke slam on Steve Austin. And there'll be a lot of matches between those two throughout the years. Undertaker choke slam and Vader. Yeah, Flash Fun, get out of there. Flash Fun's like, yeah. But the crowd went alive for certain people. Ahmed Johnson, Undertaker, Stone Cold Steve Austin, of course, Bret Hart. Not so much the Godwins. Up, Vader's like, dude, go. Like a sack of potatoes. Flash Funk is out of there. But a lot of talent in this. I mean, look at that. Bret Hart, Dwayne Johnson, Stone Cold, Vader. Vader beating on The Rock. Steve Austin, Bret Hart still fighting. Undertaker in there. I mean, definitely better than the 95 Royal Rumble. I went by quick, and we got 6 minutes left. We got 6 minutes left. That's crazy. We got already 6 minutes left of this Rumble. So Vader would last until 98. Bret Hart would be around till Survivor Series 97, where the Montreal Screwjob happened, where Shawn Michaels won, but he didn't give up. The people know the Montreal Screwjob. I don't need to go into that. Dwayne Johnson, Rocky Maivia would be hated, and he's like the rookie that's giving everything. We don't want you. Rocky die, then become a heel, which became more popular with that. Damn, some nice slaps there. Shit. Damn, you hear those. You hear those slaps. I don't know if we need one of the Godwins to stay on for so long. I mean, I don't think people don't care about one of the Godwins. Sorry. Godwin fans. That's like the guy that sticks out of everybody. Oh, and Fate Diesel. Why is Fate Diesel in there for so long? I guess because he's a big guy. Because he's a big guy. But damn, man. Because he was the biggest guy in the ring. That's why they wanted him in for so long. Yeah, did Harry Godwin ever fight Undertaker before this? That's an interesting thing about the Royal Rumble, to see, like, things we would never see before. There you go, slam his ass down. And man, Undertaker versus Mankind, we definitely know what we're going on between those two. Hell in a Cell, that's all you have to say. Hell in a Cell. And just threw his ass down. But yeah, like 3 minutes left. There's a lot of stuff going to happen in 3 minutes. Up. Mick Foley versus... Of course, The Rock and Mick Foley would definitely have some matches together. Some famous ones. Now it's time to clean house, it seems. Seems a lot of time now to clean house. Mick Foley and Terry Funk definitely had their history together, doing those overseas matches. Like those exploding wire death ones. That's what Mick Foley would do a lot. They got caught. I don't think that was meant to happen. Oh, but maybe not, because who would do a suplex from here? But yeah, I don't know if that was meant to be. Maybe it was, I don't know. I felt like they were supposed to go out at the same time. It felt like it was supposed to them go out at the same time, and then they'd be fighting. And that's to get the referee not paying attention. Because we need Steve Austin to be eliminated. See right here. But no one saw it. No one saw it. No one saw it. And be like, what the fuck? And look at the pop people had. Look at the pop people had. They went, yeah. So just the Bret Hart story of he feels like he's always been screwed over. Stone is also the heel. Look what I did. The referees were not paying attention. I love. And now he's pushing the ref, so it's trying to plant the seeds where Stone Cold's going to be the anti-hero face. Bret Hart is the baby heel, crybaby heel. Throwing the referee. Look, he's doing this. He's doing like heelish behavior, ready to fight the referee. And then it's all planned for WrestleMania 13, where now Bret is the heel, hating America. Stone Cold Steve Austin is the anti-establishment, the cool guy. There he goes. Planting the seeds. Planted the seeds for it. And that will, again, that will lead to the future. And a great WrestleMania match between Steve Austin and Bret Hart. So, yeah, this is a fun WrestleMania. When Steve Austin won, you saw how people went, yeah! That's when it cemented they made the right decision. They made the right decision, the right call. They picked the right guy. And again, planting the seeds between those two. Definitely the right way to go. So, love it. A lot of fun. So, thanks once again. Thank you once again, Shawn. That was a lot of fun. And we will see you guys later. Bye-bye.